What's going on, Sports Wars? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost and GeeksGamers.com, and it's been over 24 hours since the benches cleared in Lakers vs. Pistons after LeBron James decided to take a cheap shot and literally punch Isaiah Stewart in the face. That, of course, resulted in blood pouring from Isaiah Stewart's face, which I don't think LeBron intended those consequences, but he absolutely 1000% intended to punch Isaiah Stewart. There's no doubt about it. You can look at the video and it is extremely clear. Well, now we know the punishment for LeBron James for literally intentionally punching a dude in the face, and that is one single game. LeBron James suspended 1 game for hard foul on Pistons Isaiah Stewart, which counts as first suspension of his career. And you have the statement down here from the NBA that we can just read directly. We don't need any of the rest of it. Pistons Stewart and Lakers James suspended. Detroit Pistons center Isaiah Stewart has been suspended 2 games without pay for escalating an on-court altercation by repeatedly and aggressively pursuing Los Angeles Lakers forward LeBron James in an unsportsmanlike manner. And I will say, I think that 2 games is probably appropriate, although I get why Isaiah Stewart was upset after literally being punched in the face by bitch-ass LeBron James. I loved the fact that he tried to go after him, tried to make LeBron James pay for what he did, but of course, there was about 50 people between Isaiah Stewart and LeBron James. He couldn't quite get there. I would have loved to see what happened because you know LeBron would have curled up like the bitch that he is. But when it comes to LeBron's suspension, they explain that right here. James has been suspended 1 game without pay for recklessly hitting Stewart in the face and initiated an on-court altercation. It was announced today by Brian Spool, president of league operations. Now, I firmly believe that if this had been a random no-name player that intentionally hauled off and punched somebody, I think it'd probably be more than a single game. But since it's LeBron James, this is what we get. And if you haven't seen it yet, let me remind everybody exactly what this looked like. This is slowed down and blown up a little bit here. Look at LeBron. That was not an accident. That was not trying to clear his arm. He literally looked back, wound up, and followed through with a backhand hammer fist to Isaiah Stewart's face. Watch this shit again. It was intentional. You can't deny that it was intentional. But they're going ahead. They're going to give him the light punishment right there. Of course, here's the entire thing. We're not going to play all of it, but you can see that Isaiah Stewart was coming for him. Blood pouring down his face after this happened. I'd be pissed off too. I totally understand where Isaiah Stewart was coming from and why he tried to do exactly what he did. But yeah, I guess you had to know the league's going to do everything they can to protect LeBron James. I don't have a problem with people fighting. I don't have a problem with people going at each other. I have a problem with cheap shots like that. That was as cheap as it gets. It's not like they were squared off and all of a sudden LeBron went after him after some pushing. No. That was completely unnecessary and a cheap shot, but that's the only shot that a bitch like LeBron is going to take on someone like Isaiah Stewart. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is it appropriate? I think it's very much intentional, and they're going to try to give him a little bit of a pass here, but let me know in the comments below. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.